The two teams that were involved in the Daily Dog yesterday played in a doubleheader. Which one of those games did the Phantom have? Find out in this episode of Longshore and McKnight.
Dun, 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 dun. What is this? The secret storm or the edge of night or guiding light or something like that? Will Biff ever find an antidote for the mysterious illness that has befallen Brenda? Yeah, I like it.
Some people say the Phantom might have contracted a serious illness of late, but more on that later.
Yeah, he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight. It's Tuesday. We're going to get it started a little bit early in a couple of minutes with Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com, because they've got an early practice today. The reason why Auburn has got an early practice today is because they start school. Well, they started school yesterday. So we're at that point. Preseason camp is over with. We are getting into, the school and all that stuff. So there is that. Alabama continues practicing. I want to say Alabama's got some sort of a mock scrimmage tomorrow, or Auburn does, or we're getting to that point of the year, though, where it's going to be highly magnified over the next several days, over the next really week or two. And I would not be surprised if, I'm not calling for it or anything, but I would not be surprised if there are positional races that will be determined today at some point.
Hey, now I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Well, now I've lost your microphone. Yep, your microphone is gone. Yeah. So I don't know that he can hear me or talk to. Yeah, don't hear your microphone, but
how about now?
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, but I still can't hear you. Jesus.
It was good up until we started. Well, sometimes that happens. So we are underway. It is the show. I'm Barry. He's John. We have got football out our ears. What do we talk about? Do we talk about the Associated Press poll that has come out, the very first one of the year? Do we talk about the makeup of that poll? Clemson is out. They are not ranked. The number one team in the AP poll is Ohio State. Oregon is number 2. There were 5 schools that received first place votes. The Auburn Tigers, not surprisingly, are not in the
similar
AP
to Clemson.
Top 25.
Another Clemson similarity.
Yes. Is it surprising that Auburn actually got 3 votes?
No.
I wonder who that
I can probably tell you where they came from. 3 podcasters.
Oh, do they let them vote in the AP?
Who knows? I mean,
are podcasters a member of the Associated?
Yeah, I mean, who isn't? Ugh. My thing about preseason polls, who cares? I mean, I know it's a great opportunity to take a shot at Bama. Hadn't been in the poll or the top 10 or whatever in 17 years. Got to have something to talk about. It's that time of year. It's the middle of August. People are sick and tired of practice and talking and ready for some games, and I'm one of them. Got to just make the playoff. That's all that matters. Well, and I've never been a preseason poll guy. Can we not have the first poll, like, say, after the 5th game? Nobody knows what these teams can do. Yeah, but it sells and it's conversation, and we're giddy here and giddy there. Just let me know where you are after week 5. It's kind of like recruiting, Barry. Don't tell me you got the top class in the nation. I want to know how they panned out 2 years from now.
Mm-hmm. Can these guys cover? If the Associated poll is correct, and it never is, John's right, Alabama was the last school to be ranked preseason number 1 in the Associated Press poll and win the national championship that
really?
in 2017.
See, what's that tell you?
And if it were to be true right now, Alabama, if it played out exactly the way the polls look, Alabama would not make the playoff. They are ahead of schools like USC, Michigan, Penn State, Blue Bloods, but they are behind Texas Tech.
Oof.
Texas A&M. Jeez, it's
we talked obviously about this yesterday. They're not firing Kalen DeBoer. I know Bob from Pike Road's ready to get this guy packed up and out of town. But like with everything, Barry, who are you going to hire? Nobody's got an answer. I asked that question yesterday in a basket multiple times before. Who are you going to hire? Don't give me Brent Key from Georgia Tech. That'll go over about as well as Bill Curry. They're not going to trade in Kalen DeBoer for Brent Key. So who are you going to hire, number one? Alabama could go 7-5. They are not firing Kalen DeBoer. Now, if there's an off-the-field issue, something in a morals clause that he breaks, whatever, then they can get rid of him and not pay him. But they're not about to pay this guy an enormous buyout and then go look for somebody else. I hate to use the phrase, you are stuck with him, but you're stuck with him. And you better hope that these prognosticators are a little off on these predictions.
Here's the insight on that. They are. If we're honest, they don't know. Because if John and Barry don't know, if Longshore McKnight don't know, and we don't know, ain't nobody going to know. I mean, is somebody going to be able to make a value judgment? Somebody in the media over, hey, I really like that Josh Hoover, the quarterback at Indiana, or watch out for Texas Tech. They rated Texas Tech in front of Alabama, and nobody can tell you who Texas Tech's quarterback is.
No.
Nobody knows anybody about anything. I mean, you know some of the guys' names. You've seen some of those guys. Ohio State has got Jeremiah Smith. Oregon has got Dante Moore. Georgia has got some dudes. Notre Dame. Texas has got Arch. But we're talking about the teams. Famously, in college football, there has only been one team in which one player was the one who absolutely was the entire team. He blocked, he tackled, he punted, he kicked field goals, and that was in 2010. So you've got to have more than one guy. What do the offensive linemen look like? What do the defensive linemen look like? Well,
it's interesting, Barry, you asked that. And based on the first scrimmage in Tuscaloosa, it looks a lot like last year. But we'll wait for scrimmage number 2 and get a better evaluation to see if the defensive line yet once again dominated the offensive line or they flip-flopped. The running back situation that we'll get into a little deeper later today on this program that I think is a bigger concern than maybe I first thought. But, it's just the talking season. And looking at the schedule, Barry, I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but we're really not going to know about Auburn or Alabama till about the third week of the season.
That's no Debbie Downer. Don't sell yourself short.
I know you're thinking, I'm going to know exactly what they're like after the East Carolina game. I don't think so. Auburn and Baylor, you got to give them a couple of more games.
I like that. Not only do I agree with that, I think that's the way it should be, How boring would it – well, no, I can't say this in and amongst Alabama fans. I was about to say, how boring would it be if you knew exactly what this team was going to do and, what their chances were for a national championship and how, we may be held to within a 4-touchdown win here, or we may win that game by 3 touchdowns. That concerns me. But all in all, I've already made my reservations through Total Sports Travel for the national. That would be definitely boring. Yeah,
The point
it's a
differential
season of discovery.
The point differential is not something I think Bama fans need to fixate on. Now, I've already told you, I think Kentucky at home as an underdog against Alabama is going to be a pretty good bet because I think that number is going to be high, and I'm not sure Alabama can go on the road for the first time and cover an SEC game. We'll see. Don't want to jump ahead. But I'm looking, Barry, at can they run the ball? Is the offensive line able to protect the quarterback? Can they run efficient pass routes? Is this defense as good as, I'm hearing they are? There again, we heard how great the offensive line was last year at this point. Now I'm hearing how great the defense is. Well, give me 2 or 3 games, and I'll give you my thoughts on it after that. And all the practice and in shells and shorts and 40 times and what he looks like getting off the bus, don't care.
Don't care. Could not care less. The other side of things, what are the reactions? What are the knee jerks from Auburn's first scrimmage? I haven't been on the air since they had theirs. They got to tackle better. Yeah. The reason why Auburn was not just absolutely horrendous last year, and believe me, they were not good, was because they had a pretty good defense. I mean, they got after it, particularly, I love the linebackers, love Xavier Atkins. And they tackled. Not necessarily their best suit at this past scrimmage, but might be able to run the football well. Looks like they've got some playmakers at wide receiver. They do have questions on the offensive line. They do have some questions with depth at wide receiver, although it's better than I thought it was going to be. Last year, when Auburn went 5-7, and again, I don't understand how this works. They were 1-7 in the SEC. But they were close,
but those were close losses.
They win at Arkansas in late October.
Yeah.
But yet again, Cam Coleman catches a pass or doesn't fumble the ball after a catch late in the Iron Bowl. Oh. They could have won that game. They were right there.
Yeah,
so,
right there.
The defense has got to tackle a little bit better. It was a little sloppy, but is this an Auburn team that is pushing for the top 25? No, not right now. Again, like John said, let's see what the first several weeks
say. Give me 3 games and I'll have a better feel, I believe, of what they're able to do. But, they'll clean up the mistakes and the turnovers and the penalties and stuff like that. That's what the next scrimmage is all about. And when we return, Barry, you mentioned we needed to hop out just a little early today because Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, they're practicing early today on the plains. Yep. He's got to get over there. So he said, hey, can I come on early with you guys today? We said, sure, no problem.
You, not everybody, but for you. Yeah, that's why I'm holding off on this question from Daniel. I know this young man really, really well. His name's Trey Taylor, and I'll let you know a little bit about him when we talk with Brian Matthews in a moment. We are underway. It's the Tuesday edition of Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah,
I kind of figured that. I'll be doing that all day today. Oh, jeez.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Longshore and McKnight are brought to you in part by Stivers Automotive, Stivers Ford in Montgomery, and Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. For the absolute best on-site selection, service, and price, no other dealer can match Stivers. Stivers Ford in Montgomery is located at 4000 Eastern Boulevard and online at stiversfordmontgomery.com. Stivers CDJR in Prattville is located at 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and online at stiverscdjr.com. Longshore and McKnight have been Stivers customers for over 15 years. You should be too. Stivers Automotive, where Price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitcher's duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the River Bank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at River Bank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust. Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Okay. Hey, all right. We're back at it here on this Tuesday. Brian Matthews joining us a little early today. Glad to see him. Glad to have him. Auburn practicing early today on the Plains. How you doing today, Brian?
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me in.
It's great to have school in session at Auburn. They started yesterday. What does that do to the schedule, Brian?
Well, it means that there's terrible traffic around town and there's no parking. But yes, other than that, it's great, Barry.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Back to normal.
I think they're. I'm pretty sure they're out of the spa in Opelika. So
thank goodness.
Maybe not. Maybe it's going on a little bit longer. But they do have a scrimmage on Wednesday. And then starting next week, they'll do a simulated game week. And then the next week, they'll have an actual game week. So that's where we are in fall camp. So I don't know if fall camp's officially over yet, but it's close to being over.
Yeah, it does look like it's kind of winding down a little bit. I got to tell you, Brian, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, but, man, it just seems hotter out there. And these guys having to go through these practices in triple digits, I feel for them, man. It has got to be tough out there.
Yeah, can you imagine back in the day, John, when the way to make football players tougher was not to give them water?
Yeah.
I remember that. Give you a salt pill or something and say, keep at it.
Yeah, maybe not the best idea.
I guess I can handle it a lot better at 18 than I can at 62.
Couldn't handle it well at 18. Not good.
Yeah, but it's brutal out there. I'm sure they're taking some steps here. I think it's going to cool down a little bit by the end of the week, but still, it's pretty rough. And I think it does help having those scrimmages in the morning at Jordan Hare. It takes a little bit of the edge off, I guess. Although I guess some coaches are like, well, we want them out there in the toughest, hardest time, and but, you want to get stuff done too, right?
Yeah. You also want people to stay healthy and not get injured and not all that kind of stuff with pulls and strains and everything because they don't have any fluids in them. I never could understand the old way of doing things. Brian, I have been, I was on vacation yesterday. Didn't get a chance to weigh in on the scrimmage. Today's my first day back, so I will cede the floor to you first of all. Your takeaways, good, bad, ugly, anything about the scrimmage that still resonates with you a few days later.
I'd say it's a very typical first scrimmage, right? You had some penalties, you had some turnovers, you had poor tackling. I mean, that's a tale as old as college football time. So, yeah, very typical. And I think Coach Goles called it sloppy. Just talked about we're nowhere near being ready, et cetera, et cetera. Again, that's what most college coaches are going to say after the first scrimmage, even if it's a perfect first scrimmage, which there's no such thing as this. But yeah, I think that's typical. I think on the bright side, I think Byron Brown performed really well, had a long touchdown run to open up the scrimmage, and threw a couple, one or two touchdown passes, including one on fourth down, I believe. So he continues to be, I think, a standout during camp. I think Auburn ran the ball really well. Jeremiah Cabo, Mabson top 2 there, but I think they got some other guys coming on at that position now, getting some depth. I'm bad with names sometimes, but the kid that transferred from Bryson Washington from Baylor, he had probably his best practice / scrimmage he's had since he's been there. I think he's starting to get into better shape, learning the offense, feeling more comfortable out there. So I think that's a big step up because I think he's a pretty talented kid there. And then I think the receivers performed really well, caught some long passes, broke some tackles, made some plays. Keyshawn Singleton made some nice plays in the scrimmage too. And then he said he was pleased with the work in the red zone, not just in the scrimmage, but I think so far during camp. And I think a lot of that goes back to their ability to run the ball, their ability to have a running quarterback in Byron Brown. I just think that opens up more things in the red zone. Probably the tight ends too. I think he's really happy with that position.
Somebody on the chat line asked this, and I was going to address it. Again, I've just gotten back. Auburn gets a transfer late. I mean, classes have just started. A kid that I know named Trey Taylor, who played at Troy last year. The thing about Trey is that he can really, really run. He's super fast, but he's about $145.
Yeah.
I was interested because I track all of the guys. This is late to get a transfer, right? I thought he was out of eligibility, but what do I know? So
yeah, and I think he just got an extra year back, assuming that the court, stays how it is now, right? That can change on a whim, so to speak. But
really, just to replace the number when that wide receiver got let go earlier in the year.
Yeah. That could be a reason. I think it's just a depth piece, right? You get him in here, he's a little behind, but if you have some injuries, maybe by end of September, he's caught up and can do some things for you. And I don't know, if he's done any special teams work, but with his size, speed, maybe that's an area he could help out too. We'll see. But I just think it's Auburn saying, hey, we're short the number of wideouts we need. Here's a guy that could come in and be a good depth piece and be a good kid on the team, and we're going to bring him in.
He is that. Uh-oh. Now, we didn't hear that.
Oh, I just I think he's just a good piece you can bring in.
No. John had a question.
When's the next scrimmage scheduled?
Tomorrow. They're scrimmaging tomorrow. That'll be scrimmage number 2. I think that's probably the last big, scrimmage. They'll probably have like a walkthrough type scrimmage, but not nothing where they're going to tackle to the ground or anything. So I think this week, I think Goles came out of that scrimmage most worried about tackling. So said he would devote a couple practices to it. And I think this scrimmage will be big for that too. So we'll see how that goes.
You mentioned Bryson Washington and also that guy, Davenport, whose name I'm not going to take a shot at.
I think it's Nikai.
Yeah. At 7:24 on Tuesday morning. It's just that Davenport guy, Brian. But those guys came in with a pretty fair amount of resume behind them. They played a lot of college football and played it successfully. But still, it's the little determined running back from Auburn High that is ahead of him in the depth chart. This story intrigues me because, Omar Mabson was pretty well thought of out of high school.
Yeah.
But man, he's pushing, right? He is pushing hard at the and has since he's been on campus.
Yeah, and I would mention Tay Meadows too from Troy in that mix, that running back.
Okay.
Omar, I think had he not been so young and not made the move to graduate early, would have been a much bigger recruit, and people would have been more like, oh yeah, Omar, yeah, he's but because he was kind of not a big guy nationally and came from Auburn High School, I don't think people have a real hold on this kid and how talented he is. And on top of that talent, he is one of the hardest workers on that team. And he has already changed his body from when I interviewed him back when he was a sophomore in high school or going to be a junior at Auburn's camp, when he looked like, pretty kind of small, you kind of wondered, is his body built for college ball? And now he looks like a bulldozer or a tank out there. And I think Auburn fans who got a little glimpse of Omar last year are going to see a lot of Omar this year. And I think they're going to be excited for the future. I think he'll be Cobb's primary backup. I think Auburn's got other guys like Bryson who will help out, and Tay maybe, and Nakai, but I think it's going to be Omar and Jeremiah for most of this season as that 1-2 punch.
Brian, I got to let you know, they really liking your look today on the River Region Straw chat line. They say, man, Brian with no hat, he's got the golf shirt on, sporting the On3 logo. You're getting a lot of props today, Brian.
Well, thank you. I'm headed out to practice. You got to look nice when you're out there. You got to press all the folks out there. So I do my best.
I understand. Yeah.
It takes a lot. This is like 4 or 5 hours of work here, guys. It's the best I can do.
You got, are you a ball cap guy on the sidelines? Are you a straw hat guy? Are you a bucket hat? What's the?
Well, I got this giant forehead, so I probably should wear more hats, but usually I don't. I like to show off the silver wings, the gray hair. So
very nice. Me
and Jeff Shearer out there, we're kind of battling back and forth who has the best hair. He usually wins, but some days I can sneak up there and get him, but he usually beats me on that.
How has access been? I mean, this is not a football question necessarily, but how has access been for you and your colleagues under Golesh, particularly now when it's getting into fall?
Pretty standard, I would say, and I think better than it's been and better than it is at a lot of places. Right, we're getting 2 or 3 chances to go to practice and see the first 3 periods and get video and pictures from that, which I'm not sure everybody gets to do that across the SEC and across Power 4 football. And then we get to talk to just about every assistant, every player on the team during fall camp. Right? They'll bring out the I think we're getting Hutzler, the edge coach. I think we're getting the tight end coach today. So we'll get those 2 guys plus a bunch of tight ends and edge players. And then tomorrow at the scrimmage, we'll get Alex Golesh. So, we don't get to watch the scrimmage, but, we haven't watched a whole lot of scrimmages, in the last 10 years. That's just the way it is now.
Yeah.
But I would say the access is better than most, above average here at Auburn, and pretty good in my eye.
And as far as I'm seeing, Brian, on the injury front, there just really hasn't been many, if any.
Yep. Auburn's been very fortunate so far. The only major injury was Devin Williams, but that was, before fall camp started. He's out for the year with a knee injury and surgery, but no other major injuries during camp, which is big. They got the scrimmage coming up, and what I would assume will be a couple more physical practices after that. But then it's just about getting everybody healthy and ready for the season. So far, so good on that point. I think that's an important thing for Auburn. I think this team has some pretty good players, but they don't have a ton of great depth, I think it's probably true for a lot of teams in this era of college football with talent being spread out more, but particularly true for Auburn in the first year under Golesh. So if they can have that year where they have the injury luck, this would be a great year to have it.
Yeah, this is a great time as well at auburnsports.com. There is a huge special going on before the actual season gets cranked up. Brian, tell us a little bit about how to access all of the information about some of the things that are in the hopper heading down after practice in the scrimmage.
Yeah, and you can get 75% off for your annual subscription right now, which is a great deal. You're not going to get deals better than that. That's about to expire, so jump on it now. Just go to our site and sign up right there online. And, just today we're going to be out there, we'll provide video, we'll provide photo galleries. We'll have intel, a little inside intel, who's running with the first team, that kind of stuff, whatever we can gather from practice. Then we'll talk to a bunch of players and coaches afterwards and have plenty of stories and updates from that. And, recruiting news still pops up, just like
Mhm.
Auburn adding a player here yesterday, like we talked about. So you never know when recruiting is going to pop up. And of course, basketball practice, getting ready for the start of that season here in just another couple of months. Had a late addition to the basketball team too. So just a lot happening at auburnsports.com. Check us out online, and you can follow me on Twitter, such as X at BMATAU.
Excellent stuff. Get after it. Well,
Yes,
wear
sir.
sunscreen. Yep.
All right, I'm headed to
Thank you,
practice
Brian.
field now. Y'all take care.
You
Yeah,
too,
he's
buddy.
got-
Thank you.
he's got to
Thank you
battle the
for
traffic.
squeezing us in today. Great stuff from Brian Matthews. As always, we appreciate that here on the program.
I have always, in my adult life, lived in a college town, and you know, you get used to it. You get used to the summer, and you can park where you want to. You go downtown, and you know, hey, I want to stop in here, and you can park right out front and everything. And then when the students come back, like move-in day is the first, like, wow, rush and all that stuff, and then you think, man, there's a lot of people. Well, this many. It's like you forget every year just how many people. Fortunate to have them.
Yeah.
Love to have them. Love being in a college town. But
excuse me. Well, I agree, Barry. I think I told you last week, was in Tuscaloosa over the weekend.
yeah,
I mean, people everywhere. And you know how I am about lines and waiting and
he is not a
inefficiency.
fan.
And I am pulling into what I assume is the correct line to go to the correct dorm, in which I'm unloading a bunch of stuff. And I was right. I was in the right line. And as I passed by the people in the other line going to another dorm, I thought, oh, man, look at these folks. They're going to be here all day. I was able to zip in, pull up, unload. They told me to go park at the Rhodes Stadium parking lot and take the shuttle back. And as I kind of to myself under my breath went, yeah, right. Which I'm thinking, you expect me to go all the way over there? I just found a curb right there near the dorm, eased in there real quick.
That stuff drives me nuts.
Just
to give you a little illustration, and talked a little Auburn with Brian Matthews, and Auburn has really grown. But just to give you an illustration, when John first matriculated at the University of Alabama's Tuscaloosa campus, what was that, fall of 82?
Fall of 83.
Fall of 1983. Now, it may be correct, it may not, but it's what I have Googled and what AI is telling us. In the fall of 1983, John was one of 2,126 freshman students on campus.
What? One more time. How many again?
2,126 freshman first-time students at the University of Alabama. Total enrollment in the fall of 1986 in Tuscaloosa. 15,993 students. They were 7 students short of 16,000 in total enrollment in the fall of 1983. Anybody care to venture? I don't know that there has been anything that I have seen about enrollment in the 2026 yet. It's early, but the record was set for the fall of 2025. Again, when John was a freshman, almost 16,000. The University of Alabama in the fall of last year, 42,360.
And I think every one of them was in Tuscaloosa over the weekend. It was hot.
That's the reason why I'm asking that, why I'm pointing that out.
It was muggy.
Because the infrastructure has got to be grown. I hope the town's much better. Town in 1983, I was not a fan. No, it was not scenic. I did not love the University of Alabama campus, and my sister Jenny went to school at Alabama.
Bear made this comment. And it's
bound to be bigger. Hopefully it's nicer.
It's interesting you say that, because I made this comment. In 1983 through 87, the campus in Alabama, the buildings, the infrastructure, it was old. It was dirty. It was outdated, but we didn't know any better. We thought it was great. But looking back at that and looking at it today, it is amazing.
It is.
The transformation of efficiency, newness, state of the art, unique. There is still some traffic issues. I wouldn't get on McFarland Boulevard on a bet. Skyland isn't much better, but I kind of go around all that to miss all the traffic. But McFarland is a parking lot. There again, I kind of knew where I was going this weekend, but other people didn't. It was obvious they didn't know where they were going or what they needed to do, but I've been down this road before, so I had a little experience, and it was a lot more efficient and faster for me than I'm sure it was for other people. And granted, they unloaded it. They moved it into the dorm. The mama set it all up. I'm just kind of, hey, that looks great over there. Hey, I'm all in. Go for it. Yeah, looks great. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Call me if you need me.
Couple of things real quick. Did John just say that, you know, in terms of that campus, I've had a little experience?
I did.
That's like that's like saying Jameis Winston kind of likes crab legs.
Barry,
John has a little experience on the campus at the university. Hello, Captain Obvious.
But I want to
man
use
may
it in
have
this
may have
context.
set a world record for amount of experience on one
True.
campus in one lifetime.
No, that's an accurate statement. I should have clarified it by saying I've got a little experience in moving students in. This will be the fourth and fifth time combined that I've had to move students in. So I felt like I kind of knew the ins and outs of where to go and what areas to avoid. But then just so many people walking around, walking down the strip downtown. I thought, man, where are all these people coming? Couldn't get in a restaurant. Thankfully, the missus made a reservation before we went, so we were not hung out to dry there. But, man.
There is a reason for all of this, and that's my second point before we go to break. Where are all these people coming from? You heard him just say that. You know, a lot of these people don't know where they're going. Here's the latest unofficial breakdown other than the a campus. Again, 42,360 students. That's almost 3 times the number of students that were there whenever John first hit campus as a student. The ratio, 58% of the students, undergrads, grads, professional school, 58% of the students at Alabama are from out of state. 42% of the students are from Alabama. 58% are out of state. So, yeah, John, when you're saying people didn't look like they know where they're going, it's because they're from New Jersey.
Well, it's funny you mentioned New Jersey. There were a lot of New Jersey students. I remember looking at car tags when my oldest child was there, and I thought, what are all these people from New Jersey doing down here? It's interesting. My boys in their pledge class, kids from Charlotte, North Carolina. They got a kid from San Diego, Texas. Big group of Texas kids. I mean, it's just they're coming from. When I was in school, you came from Montgomery, Mobile, Birmingham. I didn't know anybody from Huntsville, Nashville, Jackson, Mississippi, and New Orleans, Dothan. I mean, that's what my pledge class was made up of, people predominantly from those cities. Now they're all over the place. I'm thinking, I don't know. It is amazing how they have tripled the size of that place. Okay. Since the time I was there. But I don't know. I feel pretty good about my navigational skills, Barry. I feel like I still can get through and around the place and not get stuck in the parking lots that a lot of people do get stuck in from time to time.
It's a superpower, all right. It is. The bad thing is, you know, I've been around when people are like, yeah, wow, look at that guy. My color analyst on the radio network knows every back road in the state of Alabama. It's great. And John does too. There's no doubt. John knows the back ways, but he makes up for it on the rare moments when he gets caught by that train in downtown Tuscaloosa. Or whenever, you know, he makes that really obscure turn on that shortcut. Yeah. And he sees that lady camped out trying to make a left turn into traffic, and you're like, go, go.
Barry,
He
I
makes up
leave
for it with his reaction upon traffic adversity.
I leave Tuscaloosa probably 3:30, 4 o'clock on Saturday.
That's a win. Good gosh. On moving day?
Well,
Nice.
no, we went up on Friday. I went up Friday about 11. So we actually spent the night Friday night. So I'm coming home. The missus goes, I think I need to stick around and go clean up. So I said, honey, knock yourself out. I'm heading home. I'll meet you there. So I'm zipping down, get through, get back on 82 and things are humming. And I'm, I probably got it at about 75, a little speedy, but I'm ready to get home. There are no cars on 82. I'm thinking this is going to be great.
John,
but humming.
Then
I'm still humming down the 2-lane. They ain't seen a car yet. I get to about Maplesville. There's a big line of cars, and at the front, 2 pulpwood trucks going about 40 miles an hour.
Oh yeah.
And that lasts for at least another 25, 30 minutes.
But in John traffic time, 25 to 30 minutes is like a day and a half.
I don't think my top
Especially
speed exceeded 45 miles an hour in that stretch. You talking about, was not happy.
Well, let's take a break. Coming up at the top of the hour, it's Travis Ryer, Ryer on YouTube, and several other new ventures he's been telling us about. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Okay, about 43 minutes past the hour here on this Tuesday. Brian Matthews from AuburnSports.com joining us earlier, heading out to practice this morning over at Auburn. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. I think we're just a few subscribers away from hitting a milestone, so get on there and hit that subscription, hit that like button. Really appreciate that. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, Spotify, iTunes, Yellowhammer News, and yellowhammernews.com, the Yellowhammer News Facebook page. Really appreciate that. See the numbers growing. Could not do it without you. Barry, is Alabama going to be able to run the football without A.K. Deer and, from what it looks like, E.J. Crowell?
I don't know what to think about that because, famously – E.J. Crowell has been hurt. He was held out a lot in the spring. He's been hurt, didn't scrimmage in the first scrimmage. And, and all of that. But there's some people who said that not only has he practiced since the scrimmage, but he looks great. Other guys are saying, he doesn't look, I don't know what to think about Crowell. I do know he's a very good back, but, maybe we'll ask.
I'm going to take your word for it, Barry, because I've never seen him play in a college game. Seen his high school tape.
Well, that's all I've seen, but I saw him play live in the state championship game, and he was just physically more talented than everybody else. But AK Deer, that's an issue for sure. I mean, that's an issue that I know is an issue.
Well, here's why
he may miss
AK Deer.
Yeah.
If they get him back for the Georgia game, is he going to be ready to play? You've been out for 2 months. You're just going to pop on the field against Georgia and be ready to play? I think you got to ease yourself into it, get your body physical, football ready. So I'm not so confident in AK Deer. EJ Crowell, Barry, here's what I'm hearing. It's all over the place. Attitude. Wants more NIL. Now, I keep talking about seeing him go across the field after the A-Day game in one of those things you see people with ACL injuries using.
Yes.
Got the knee up on the little cart, and he's pushing it with the other good leg. If that's the case, he's going to be back from an injury like that by the opener, and he hadn't participated in one scrimmage. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of things floating out there about EJ. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. You make your own. Look, we report, you decide.
Is he practicing at all? Is he out there? I heard some people say he is. I've heard some people say he isn't.
Well, okay.
I don't know. But I will say,
if he's practicing, is he pulling an attitude card and saying, well, I'm going to practice, but I'm not scrimmaging? I mean, I find it hard to believe that a true freshman, or any player for that matter, is going to act like that. But there again, some of the things floating around out there, when you're a high-profile 5-star player, number 2 running back in the country, whatever he was, and you're not playing, people are going to start wondering. And the coaching staff isn't giving us any concrete info. Well, he should be back. Expecting him to play in the first game. Well, why isn't he scrimmaging?
As an antidote to the to the questions being asked, I would like to point out that I have heard some really positive things. To your question specifically, it ain't going to matter. It's not going to matter. John, you've got Daniel Hill, who is lean, mean, and not too far. No, he's lean, mean, agile, mobile, hostile. Daniel Hill has dropped weight. He won this Mississippi 110 hurdles at 230 pounds. Daniel Hill is going to run for 1,400 yards this year, and not anybody of these people who are decrying Alabama's lack of a running game is going to admit in January that they were questioning it in August because Daniel Hill provided all the answers.
I'm going to buy that. I hear you talking. I hear what you're saying. I'm hearing the same things. Kid looks great. Hope that's the case because obviously they're out with AK Deer. EJ Crowell is a mystery. I have heard a lot about this young man, Trayshawn Brown, a 3-star that Courtney Morgan reeled in that's supposed to be kind of like the surprise get in this class. We'll see.
Also, have you people out there, gripe, this and that, it don't matter who whether who you got in the backfield, Derrick Henry couldn't run behind a line like this. Here's a little antidote.
Let me ask you this, Barry. Is the defensive line really that good? Or is the offensive line same old, same old? It's kind of like the kid rushed for 1,400 yards against crappy defenses. I mean, I'm just asking.
That's my guy. That has served us well over the years. On the same side, have you guys not heard? Have I got to tell you guys about what Ryan Grubb said yesterday about Ryan Coleman Williams?
I'll miss that.
What? Oh, Ryan Coleman Williams. This is after yesterday. This is not post scrimmage.
Yeah.
This is after yesterday's practice. Alabama offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb says Ryan Coleman Williams is having an unbelievable preseason camp. I am lucky to coach the kid. He is just an absolute wonder. Huh?
Well,
he's coming. Daniel Hill and Ryan Williams will drive the tide until the dawn. I'm just telling you.
And hey, looks like marriage is playing out well for Ryan. Got married over the summer, so good for him, and he's having a good camp. Glad to hear that.
The right woman. But
glad to hear that. But this EJ Crowell thing, Barry, I find it very mysterious. Very mysterious. And when there's a lot of mystery out there, there's a lot of talk. Whether it's true, whether it's accurate, there's a lot. Do you want people talking about you, particularly if it's not accurate or just hearsay?
This is what John calls his Christine Brennan approach.
Yeah.
If she is going on to USA Today and saying that Cam Newton got kicked out of Florida because of a laptop, and you're saying that he didn't get kicked out of Florida, I mean, they held the door open for him, and they shut it back and let him drive off and all that. Don't you think I would say, okay, all right. I think that
Barry, you did miss the point. You should have inserted the nation's most read newspaper as well. I always pointed that out.
Yeah. That's like being the best looking FIMU, or whatever. Hey, the nation's most read newspaper. How many people read it? 8?
Well, back then it was
16?
the nation's most read newspaper.
Yeah. But you see people like Aaron Taylor.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know anything about this. This is what was on the America's most read Crimson Tide message board.
Yeah.
At Tighter Inside.
I had to Google who Aaron Taylor was, Barry. I'm thinking, who?
Oh, you remember him from, it's been a while. He said that basically that his outlandish stuff. He was thoroughly impressed with Alabama on Thursday. First and second team O-line were dominating and winning the one-on-ones as Taylor described, and Crowell, who this is again from Rodney on the Post. He said he suggested that Crowell, who the media was led to believe is out with an injury, was putting on a show out there today. But Rodney said, I wouldn't really overreact either way to his comments. He turned right around and praised the defense, too. Plus, he said, I might add that they weren't in full pads today, too.
So, Barry, it sounds...
You never know.
It sounds eerily familiar to a former college player going to see a practice and just raving about Alabama's offensive line. It happened about this time last year, as a matter of fact. And I went, wow, that's pretty positive. These guys played in the league. They should know what they're looking at. So, I don't put a lot of – look, Aaron might be a great – was he on like CBS Sports with Zucker and those guys?
Yeah, he was there pretty highly visible, and then all of a sudden he just quit.
Yeah.
Just didn't do it anymore.
Nothing against Aaron. I got there again. I got to see it to believe it. Got to see it to believe it.
Here's what I believe about all that. The truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
I mean, you've got Aaron Taylor, who, at one time was a big deal with CBS, was a college football pundit. I hate that word.
Where did he play college ball?
Oh, he's Notre Dame.
Oh.
Definitely Notre Dame. Who says that Crimson Tide dominated on offense, dominated on defense, dominated on the cheerleading staff, the whole deal. But then you get Bob from Pike Road on the other side.
Yeah, here we go.
Ryan Grubb is literally the worst offensive coordinator in all of football. NFL, college football, high school, Little League, Canadian League, women's flag football, the Lingerie League, don't matter. Grubb is a disaster. Horrendous. I think the truth is somewhere between the Crimson Tide will not allow a first down all season long. They'll win each game by 35. And he is the worst offensive coordinator in all of football. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to break it down with our man, Travis Ryer on YouTube, Talking Tide, so many other great platforms as well. He'll tell us all about that as we get ready for the opening of college football. I see where ESPN has released their Week 0 TV schedule. Not sure I'm going to be watching a lot of Week 0 games. Austin P, I think, is one of them.
Oh, Austin P plays on Thursday. I mean, this is when it all be. So, I mean, that
counts. Who knows? But we'll get into
Stony
that.
Brook at Delaware State. Are you kidding me?
Love it.
Woo,
Stony Brook.
Love it.
So we'll get into a little bit of that as well. Also, Barry, some NFL preseason over the weekend. A couple of things caught my eye that we'll talk about in hour number 2 as well. And, yeah, I guess we'll get to the Daily Dog, too.
The Jaguars played the Saints this weekend.
Kyler Shuck did not take a snap, I don't believe, in that game.
Is that the good news or the bad news? Yeah.
Just saying.
More to come in a moment. Hour number 2 is next. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with one of their clinics and take advantage of physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solution services. Get back in the game, get back to work, and get back to life with Phoenix Physical Therapy. To find a location near you and to schedule an appointment, go to phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. That's phoenixphysicaltherapy.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here today. Barry, let's leave it to Tobias to bring a ray of sunshine into the program today.
He says none of the opening day starters for the 2025 offensive line are back, and that's great. I wonder if you can take this.
Tobias.
Yeah. See, I give a little ray of sunshine. Ryan Grubb says Ryan Williams is a joy to coach, Tobias also said this. He said, my girlfriend told me I have to see it to believe it Saturday. I break out every time that John says that. Anytime your girlfriend tells you, I have to see it to believe it, it's usually talking about, no, She's usually talking about an American Express Platinum.
Yeah.
Or, something like that. Oh, yeah? I have to see it to believe it. You really drive a Lincoln Aviator? Yeah. Oh, I'll have to see it to believe it. Yeah. That kind of a thing. Not sure what the context is for Tobias, but as we close out the first hour, I'm just here to tell you, Auburn is going to be fine. Tackle a little bit better, stay healthy, identify a couple of offensive linemen. I think Troy is going to have a fantastic season this year. Alabama, good Lord, people, act like you got some smarts. Act like, you are a blue blood program. Everybody says so, and nobody says so more than Alabama fans do. Act like it. Holy smokes. How about a little confidence in your 18-time national championship football program? Jeez.
Barry just uttered a key word, and I'm trying to recall what year it was. I can't remember if it was so far back that even Terry Bowden. Were we together when Terry Bowden was at Auburn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we had him on as a guest.
I remember Barry using that same word describing Auburn in the preseason.
Auburn is going to be fine.
I haven't heard him use that word since then.
I haven't had to. And I have to use it for Alabama fans?
No, you just said Auburn will be fine before you went into Troy. And I went,
Terry Bowden, we had, I can't believe John didn't remember that, because we got more mileage out of that than Cam Petway running for 1,200 yards one year.
Auburn will be fine. And I remember Barry saying that multiple times, and I'm thinking, I know he's saying it, but I'm not believing it.
Auburn, he was the head coach at Auburn from 1993. Very famous because his first year they went 11-0 to 1998. So he was the coach for a year and a half, a season and a half under our tenure. And let me tell you, at Auburn, people will, besmirch his name, but at Auburn, he was 47-17-1. He began in his first 2 years, he was 20-0, then he lost one and tied one back-to-back. 20-0 to start. 30 games over 500, and people dog cussed him ever since. Folks, I'm just here to tell you, if Alex Golesh goes 47-17 at Auburn, you're going to have to get you some bronze out there. You're going to have to move over some of them statues, because you're going to be building another one out there. Don't you miss 47-17-1 Auburn.
Let me ask you this. Let me put it this way. Will at one point in time, whether it's a nanosecond or an hour, will Alex Golesh ever be more popular than Pat Dye as Terry Bowden was?
Never was. Never was for a moment. Not for a second.
As he ran across the field with both fists raised high in the air, going 20-0. I don't know. Might have been more popular than Dye.
Never. I can't believe John did. Hey, were we together with Terry? Because we went round and round about that. I could not stress enough. There was not a heartbeat within his body that existed as the most popular coach in Auburn history. More popular than Pat Dye. Ever. Although, again, my point is not that Terry Bowden is going to be featured on ESPN College Football 200 or something like that, and the 200th as one of the great coaches truly in SEC history. But 47-17-1, and I remember what it was like. I remember
impressive
games back in 1998 when you had somebody out in the bed sheet. I can't remember who the game was against. They had a bed sheet out there in a very, very sparse, like the worst crowd I've ever seen at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Somebody had gotten a bed sheet and some black Krylon spray paint, and it said 47-17. They didn't put the 1 in there.
No.
7-17. Why? Question mark. And it stood out like a sore thumb.
I never saw that. I did see the "No, I'm not Terry Bowden" T-shirt that Big C had on at the Iron Bowl. I thought was good, but Barry said that. I remember him using that word, actually the phrase "Auburn will be fine."
I had to say it over and over again because John couldn't believe I said it. I said, "Yeah, they're going to be," and they were in the great grand scheme of things. Fine.
It's like, some other programs would love to have a record like that. I probably heard that one too. Not at Auburn, they don't. That ain't what they want. Travis Ryer on YouTube, scheduled to join us here momentarily. We'll hook him up here on the show and get Travis set up to go here with us on the program.
But we've got questions for Travis as well, of course.
Yeah.
We've got questions about all of that because, quite frankly, I can't remember many preseason camps, whether preseason or game week or whatever camps, where it's been so back and forth. It's like a bumper cars,
Yeah.
Alabama's going to be great. They're going to be wonderful. Return to, the magical days of yesteryear, or holy smokes, we're not going to be able to run the football. We'll be lucky to win 7.
That's what I've been saying.
Crazy.
Folks, just don't panic. Just let 2 or 3 games play out. All this stuff you're hearing in preseason, scrimmage notes, blah, blah, blah. Players won't scrimmage or, whatever. Just get 2 or 3 games under your belt, and we'll have a much better feel. That's kind of the way I'm taking it. Travis Ryer on YouTube, talking Tide, so many other great subjects as well. Joining us, he does each and every Tuesday. Travis, hope you're doing well. Thanks for hopping on today.
Good morning, guys.
Have we got a new Cover Crimson out this morning?
We do. We absolutely do. We had one yesterday that we refer to as the happy hour edition of Cover Crimson, and then one bright and early this morning. Yeah, back to back.
Ooh.
Love it.
Ooh, bright and early. It's no way to live your life. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So Travis, just some of the, obviously not, you don't want to give it away because we want people to check out Cover Crimson. It's an outstanding product there that you produce, but just a couple of Cliff's notes, some bullet points of what you're picking up on, what you're hearing, what you're talking about in terms of this Crimson Tide football team as they get ready for their next scrimmage.
Yeah, I think there's been some encouraging buzz, some encouraging signs about what you want to see, what you want to hear about a team really in all 3 phases of the game. So you hope that continues. You're essentially wrapping up fall camp here in the next couple of days because classes at Alabama get underway tomorrow. I know a lot of folks just look at the entire preseason as camp. I don't. I think once you hit classes, you're into a different approach on a day-to-day basis. Really, by NCAA rules, you are, because the 20-hour clock, which I think the 20-hour clock has survived everything that has happened maybe over the last 4 or 5 years. I need to actually check on that. But, yeah, I mean, the offensive line, the run game, I know you guys have talked about that. We've talked about it. Hearing from Ryan Grubb yesterday, if you wanted to hear good things about how this offense and maybe that area is trending, I think he kind of touched on that yesterday, the last couple of practices, really since the scrimmage. That's what you want. I mean, you understand that first scrimmage could be a little bit rocky, especially on the offensive side of the ball. What you're looking for is, okay, we got information from that scrimmage. We learned about ourselves. Can we take that, apply it, and improve markedly over the scrimmage in the next few days? And it sounds like they've done that. So offensively, that's a good thing. Defensively, I continue to hear that the imports via the transfer portal, especially up front and at inside linebacker, have been what they had hoped. And that secondary is going to be formidable and deep, even with an injury that they sustained back there. They're built in a way that I think they can withstand that. Now, maybe not so much the frontline guys, but from a depth perspective, they're in a pretty good spot. So going into scrimmage number 2 on Thursday, I think most of the interest is going to be on that quarterback competition with Austin Mack, Keelan Russell, and then a couple of spots on that offensive line where there continues to be legit competition.
Well, you mentioned, that once school gets started, the calendar does change. I mean, the daily itinerary and stuff, and that's true. You also mentioned the scrimmage on Thursday. Is that the time after which they're going to announce, or should they announce a starting quarterback, Travis?
Yeah, we heard from Ryan Grubb yesterday, and I think it raised some eyebrows when he said, "We're close." Well,
Yeah.
of course you're close. You got your second scrimmage on Thursday.
Season's
So,
close.
if you just do the math on, what's still out there as far as that second scrimmage, when it's going to take place, you would certainly hope an announcement is coming soon. Now, they may announce it quickly after Thursday scrimmage into next week. Um, other guys, other coaches have carried it on to that Monday really of game week. But it sounds like they are close relative to what's still on the preseason schedule. And so opportunity still there for both the candidates. I think there's probably been more buzz about Keelan Russell in the days since last Thursday's scrimmage, but I don't think it's a situation where you totally shut the door on the possibility of Austin Mack. So I think it's been what they hoped it would be. If nothing else, both these guys have been forced to improve in areas where maybe they needed to improve the most. For Keelan Russell, I don't think anybody doubts the playmaking ability there. But with Mack having that extra time in the system and the command of the offense, that probably underscored his need to do that. And then for Mack, it's great that you have command of the offense, but we've heard Ryan Grubb say repeatedly, we still need guys that can make plays at the end of the day. And I think, that's an area where he's probably had to sort of sell himself as a viable candidate.
Travis, I'm hearing a lot of coach speak when it comes to EJ Crowell. I'm ready to see him in a scrimmage. What's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. And I totally understand and am of the belief that he is the real deal. But going back to his arrival in the spring and even into fall camp now, it's been very limited at best in terms of his time on the practice field. And I think that's helped a guy like Trayshawn Brown, the other
gonna
guy,
ask
so
you
to
about
speak,
him.
at the running back position. Because what you see of that young guy, you really, really like. So it's been a good news, bad news type of situation. The bad news is that we haven't seen probably enough of EJ Crowell, although we continue to hear from Ryan Grubb and others that, look, it's nothing severe. It's nothing that's going to keep him out of week one. Well, at some point, you've got to have a stretch of work because you still are a freshman. So we'll see as that moves forward. I think the good news and all that, again, has been what they've been able to see from Trayshawn Brown.
I've got to ask you about this because I don't know anything. He's got some staying power. Trayshawn Brown, I don't think he's going to go anywhere, and we'll find out about him. But what is he? Who is he? What does he do? What kind of a back is this kid that's pushing?
Yeah, he's a guy that was kind of considered a throw-in a little bit. In this era of college football, you see some late additions or late in the signing period additions, things like that. And it almost feels like undrafted free agents after the draft.
Yeah.
Right? Or late round picks late in the draft. You see some of those type of additions these days. And I think initially you're thinking, well, that's probably what Trayshawn Brown is. Although, it looked like he was headed to Boise State, which year in and year out, usually puts a pretty good running back on the field. So it wasn't like he was totally off the FBS radar, or at least a fringe Power Four type of prospect. But boy, he has come in, even going back to the spring. And I think as much as anything, there's a maturity about his game. You watch him with his instincts and his decisiveness and the way he uses both hands to carry the football. He uses that offhand to help himself create some separation, and also the way he finishes runs. I mean, he's probably 5'9", 5'10", 205. I mean, there's nothing about him that really looks all that imposing, but we've seen it with great backs in the past that have that sort of, physical makeup. There's something about them instinctively, um, the way that they have that sort of ability to keep their feet clean, the lean that they have, and also, again, efficiency with their footwork, and also a willingness first, and then the ability to capitalize on finishing plays, finishing runs, which they didn't have enough of by far at the running back position last year. So don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with him. He's still a young back, but I think of maturity when I look at him, and not just in terms of with the ball in his hands. He's shown it in pass protection as a receiver. I just won't be surprised if we see him pretty early against East Carolina.
I'll back away. He's a young back because you just described Emmitt Smith, but I'm not going to point that out.
That's the type of back I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Emmitt and some of these backs, they didn't blow you away. With their physical makeup, they weren't 4.3 guys or 4.4 guys, but man, when you looked up at the end of the day, there's 15, 20 carries for $110 or $120.
And nobody got a clean shot on him.
No. And played forever. Yeah.
You're talking about the same Emmitt Smith that ran up and down the field in Birmingham against the Tide at Legion Field?
Yeah.
Woo,
yeah.
man.
That was
as a freshman.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. John has said this before, and it's almost on the border of getting on my nerves, but he never does, but it's close. Alabama needs an alpha dog on defense. We talked all the time about some of the old great alpha dogs, the Rolando McClains, blah, blah, blah. Is there that, and is it at linebacker? Is there that available potentially?
Yeah, you hope that's what Caleb Woodson brings coming in from Virginia Tech. You hope you added some retro sort of Bama presence to your defensive line with the guys you brought in from out west. Devin Tompkins certainly has that versatility. I'm not saying he's going to be John Allen, but the different things you can do with him on early downs, and then in pass rush situations, maybe you use him outside early, move him inside for some matchups in the pass rush when you get into some obvious passing situations. So, those are guys that come to mind. I think Bray Hubbard can be that kind of guy on the back end. I think Keon Sabb has no problem bringing the lumber. I don't think that's what you worry about with Keon Sabb. I worry about Keon Sabb's eyes lying to him and being influenced by things in front of him, because he is pretty hyperactive downhill. It's when you do that, you give him that sort of look, and then you go over the top of him, that I think can be a little bit problematic at times. So, they need though, for sure, they needed more of an influence of runners and hitters. And I think Caleb Woodson can give them some of that. I think Luke Metz, potentially at inside linebacker, can give them some of that. QB Reese. I worry more about the inside linebackers in coverage. What in space.
Mm-hmm.
Can they run and cover with running backs and maybe even tight ends on occasion? That's where I'm more of the concern with this group of inside. I think they're going to be an upgrade probably in terms of thump and physicality.
A position we really hadn't discussed this preseason, Travis, and I heard there's an interesting battle brewing. Is it place kicker?
Yeah, I mean, you bring in Lurkin Quinn from Marshall, the Irishman, and he had a great year at Marshall last year. That's why he's on this Groza preseason list, and Connor Talty isn't.
Yes.
The thing about Quinn is, a couple of years ago, he was working a regular job in Ireland, and now here he is in the SEC kicking potentially for the Alabama Crimson Tide. It's great. I give Courtney Morgan and the personnel staff a lot of credit. And with punter, they didn't kick the can, so to speak, with those situations. They brought in legitimate competition. And I thought there were times where Connor Talty was really, really good last season, more so away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. But also, that entire operation at times had their issues, not just Connor Talty. So they needed to solidify some things at snapper, just the operation being better, start to finish. So Talty, you hope with what he had invested in him a year ago, would make a continued progression here. But again, I'm glad that they didn't just assume that would be the case. They brought in a legit guy in Quinn from Marshall, and that's what I hear too. That it's a really good competition. They're going to feel good about either guy they put out there, and it could be a mix of both. You know, you could have one of them handling field goal, extra point, and got another guy handling kickoff. So I think there's enough to go around. But the more critical aspects of that job, sure, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
I got to ask you this, just my last question. Do you agree that Ty Simpson looked like a, by gosh, 5-6 year NFL veteran quarterback in the preseason game against the Chiefs?
Yeah, I thought he looked great. And I thought, you know, the way in which they used him is the way in which he can really be successful in the NFL. It was sort of a Brock Purdy performance, I would say. That's always been kind of my comp for Ty is Brock Purdy, and I love the movement, design movement off play action. You know, get him out on the corner some. I thought they did a really good job of protecting him though from the pocket. I mean, if you protect him like he was protected the other night, and understanding this is preseason, so the Chiefs weren't getting exotic with their pressures or anything like that. I mean, if you let that guy kind of stand in there and work through his progressions like he was able to do when he was in the pocket, and he's going to do what he did. And I don't care if it's the NFL, the SEC, Region 3 and in Class 4A.
Hey, that's a tough region.
He's gonna have success, and especially working that intermediate middle of the field. That is his sweet spot. And I still am interested. I think, like a lot of people, you want to see the vertical passing game more, but sure, he can do what he did the other night if those things are kind of put on his lap.
Well, Barry's already needled me a little bit about the Jags going into the Superdome and winning against the Saints. Even though it was a preseason game, I'm not even sure Tyler Shook took a snap, but he, got a little satisfaction with the Jags preseason win. What say you?
Yeah, it was interesting. They did get out of there with a win, but during the joint practices with the Saints, the word was that the Saints were maybe the winner of those. And so I don't think Liam Cohen was all that happy with the joint practice work. So the Jags came out of there. You talk about starters. We don't see them in the exhibition game, but they were in there in those joint practices. So we'll see how the Jags continue to move from there. It is just the preseason. But yeah, I think, it still is. A lot of people are high on the Jags, which worries me because it seems like anytime that's been the case in the past, a resounding face plant has typically followed.
I cannot believe that I spent a second and laid out, and John did not bring up an Auburn reference when you mentioned that. Okay.
I'm trying to control myself, Barry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
A team that does better whenever they don't have tons of preseason hype and everything, and John didn't bring up Auburn. I'll take it. So many things going on, Travis, that you offer both on the website and the other aspects of the Ryer Media conglomerate. Tell us a little bit about what's going on this week.
Yeah, we're going to continue to have Alabama coverage at Ryer on YouTube, some SEC coverage as well, and also now at Cover Crimson, working with Jimmy Stein there on YouTube and on podcast platforms. That's Cover Crimson, talking Alabama football with Jimmy. We had a happy hour show yesterday, where we got into the position battles that are still out there for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Also talked most important players for Alabama as we see it right now. And then another show today on Cover Crimson, where we get into some of the newcomers that you shouldn't sleep on, even if you haven't heard a lot about some of these guys a couple of weeks into camp. Definitely want to keep their names in mind. So Cover Crimson on YouTube and Ryder on YouTube.
Man, really enjoy that. Guys that maybe we haven't talked about that you think could make a good impression this fall. Really interested to see that, and I know a lot of our viewers and listeners will as well. Great content as always. Travis, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it.
Guys. Have a good day.
You
too, buddy. Great stuff. The Cover Crimson are really enjoying it, Barry.
Yeah, it's him and Jimmy Stein. And to the guy who keeps texting me on the, what does John call it? The exclusive
the VIP River Region Shaw text line,
and everything.
Yeah.
Every time I like Jimmy Stein. I don't know who he is or anything like that, but the guy who keeps saying, wasn't he the guy that kept getting coached to get hit by pitches from Buttermaker? No.
Rudy.
That's Rudy Stein. Yeah, had the big horn rim glasses and different guy altogether.
Got to take one for the team, Rudy. Come on, whether it hurts or not. Speaking of that, Barry, that Jags-Saint preseason game, we knew it was going to happen. One of their top draft picks, Jordan Tyson from Arizona State, hamstring injury.
Yeah, wide receiver.
Plagued by those while he was at Arizona State, could be out for 6 weeks. I mean,
Jordan, man, haven't you heard of pickle juice? I mean, you know, eat a steak or two. Get a little fat in your system.
Tough. You got to go to Detroit, then Baltimore in the first 2 weeks. Oh.
Hey, listen, we're getting close. This is week 2 of the NFL preseason. Games starting on Thursday, Raiders and Texans, 49ers, and the Chargers. That is late Thursday night. Coming up, it's the Phantoms Daily Dog.
Yeah.
It's next. It was worthy of a cold open from John this morning, previewing a doubleheader yesterday in Major League. Well,
yeah.
We'll get all the details. Coming up, he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Longshore and McKnight are brought to you in part by Stivers Automotive, Stivers Ford in Montgomery, and Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Prattville. For the absolute best on-site selection, service, and price, no other dealer can match Stivers. Stivers Ford in Montgomery is located at 4000 Eastern Boulevard and online at stiversfordmontgomery.com. Stivers CDJR in Prattville is located at 2209 Cobbs Ford Road and online at stiverscdjr.com. Longshore and McKnight have been Stivers customers for over 15 years. You should be too. Stivers Automotive, where price sells cars, trucks, and SUVs.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Already about, midway through hour number 2 here on a Tuesday, Longshore and McKnight. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Helps out with programming this fine YouTube broadcast. You can check it out on Facebook and Instagram and X and Spotify. Apple Tunes, iTunes, you name it. It's everywhere. Really appreciate that. Hit the like and subscribe button. So, Barry, yesterday for the Daily Dog, just to let you know, since you weren't here, another winning week last week, 3 straight in a row.
Not surprised.
3 straight winning weeks. But what do I get on the Longshore McKnight at gmail.com email inbox? Hey, how'd the Phantom do yesterday? Which is fine. But, I could have gotten cute and said, well, the Phantom did great because the Reds won last night. But it was a double-header yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah,
was it a scheduled doubleheader or?
Well, that's a good question.
Wayne was coming, so you better go. Okay.
And I could have come on today and said, oh, yeah, we had a winner. Sure. We had game 2 between the Reds and the Cards, in which the Reds won in 10 innings, came back to win it in the 10th.
Can you just spend a moment thinking about John's frame of mind if he had been there?
Yeah, no doubt.
Extra innings of the second game of a doubleheader.
Oh,
you've played 18 innings. John has sat there for 18 innings. And he hears those immortal words. And now we go to the 10th.
Yeah. But the fine, upstanding person that I am, we actually, Barry, had game 1, in which the Cardinals beat the Reds. The Reds were catching plus 104. So we didn't take it on the chin. So we've hit a little dry spell here.
It's not a dry spell. It's a market correction.
Correction. And when I was looking at the schedule yesterday, there's just so few double headers. I didn't think to look, hey, could they possibly be playing twice today? I mean, who does that? Nobody. But Barry, I'm not letting yesterday's results, sway me.
No.
Not going to do it.
Today's a new day. If anybody knows that, the Phantom wakes up every morning, slips his feet into his slippers with a smile on his face and a song on his lips and saying, today's a new day. I'm not going to let yesterday bother me.
That's right. Zippity doo-dah day. So, Barry, what are we going to do? You know what? We are going back to Cincinnati yet again, where Andrew Abbott is facing Kyle Leahy in a 5:40 first pitch. St. Louis at Cincinnati. The Reds, once again, a home underdog, but ever so slightly at plus 105. When are these people going to start believing in Cincinnati? Well, I certainly am. I'm taking the home team Reds at plus 105 against St. Louis. 5:40, 2 days in a row. This is actually the third time they will be playing in 2 days.
Right.
But Andrew Abbott against Kyle Leahy today.
Yep. Who knows? Maybe Brad Bohannon had been planning on playing the Reds 2 days in a row at Great American Ballpark.
Yeah.
He got intercepted after the first day. So Phantom says, I'll play him twice in a row at home. Absolutely. Why?
That's right.
Not.
Yeah.
Why not?
So, okay.
There you go. That is the Phantom's Daily Dog.
That's it. Today. 3 straight winning weeks. Just letting you know out there, ladies and gentlemen, for all you, naysayers and negative Nancy's out there. Barry, you mentioned something that's on my notepad today. Talking about Ty Simpson, and saw some of the highlights.
Great.
Saw some of the game. Colin Cowherd was just oohing and gooing about Ty Simpson yesterday on his program. Really high marks. And yes, I know it was a preseason game, but as I sat there and watched those clips, I had to go back and think about statements I made a couple of 2-3 years ago. Who's the better quarterback? Ty Simpson or Jalen Milroe? And I made that statement a lot when Milroe was in his last year at Alabama. Guy's a great athlete. Got a big smile on his face. Good face of the program.
Yeah.
But he's not a quarterback. And I'm thinking Ty Simpson in his first preseason NFL game, has Jalen Milroe had any type of game like that as a pro?
This is against the Chiefs. Ty Simpson,
Good
21 for 25, 190 yards. It's not a lot. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 125 passer rating.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't know how you come up with a passer rating, Barry, but if you say it's good, I'm okay with it too.
I don't know. Okay, that's just what they say. 125. Yeah. Not bad, huh?
No, not at all.
Stetson Bennett is sitting over there, and Stetson won a natty, for God's sakes. Who is this guy?
And I can give
job.
you this. It's the first outing, and it's preseason, and they're going up against a bunch of tomato cans, whatever. Well, I'm sure Jalen Milroe had an opportunity to do the same thing.
Oh, see, comparison's the thief of joy now.
And there again, I'm not here to beat up on the kid. I just never thought he was a great quarterback. I don't think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I don't think I've ever seen him. And I think one of his stats, he did get in a game and was like 3 of 10, and his longest pass was 8 yards or something. That's not an NFL quarterback. I mean, I'm looking at Ty Simpson yesterday. He's slicing and dicing. I mean, he's rolling out. He's hitting tight ends. He's hitting backs out of the backfield. He's throwing it across the middle. I'm thinking, man, kid looks pretty good.
He's getting protection. Maybe that's the key. I love Travis Ryer, and he was saying, I really like the way they used him. Yeah, I almost didn't recognize him because he was upright. I almost didn't recognize him because he could throw in rhythm. He was not on his back.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a part of it too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hate to compare Simpson and Milroe, but that is the first thing I thought of, Barry. I went, people jumped my case when I was kind of critical of Milroe as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that out there again.
According to some people out there, according to some people's barometer of success, neither of them won a natty, so we'll just move right on along. We ain't never going to invite them to a ribbon cutting at Bryant-Denny. They ain't never going to be on the Crimson Cruise. They ain't never going to be on a Gabby Bell set talking about, that great play call on 4th down and goal against Michigan in the playoffs. And hey, what do you say? All right, what do you say?
I'm not sure Gabby Bell's still with us. Maybe Doug Bell could do it.
He's not. Maybe Doug Bell. But I just love Gabby Bell.
Yeah,
big shout out Gabby Bell.
Yeah.
But how about this? Season on the line. Saban's over there on the sidelines. In the final play of his coaching career at Alabama, somebody signed off on, all right, season on the line, short yardage at the goal line. What do you say we put him in the shotgun and then run a quarterback draw? And
now, Barry, it was a bad snap.
How about if nobody hit anybody?
Yeah, it was a bad snap, almost a borderline busted play.
You know why? Because he had to snap it back.
Yeah.
Center's
fault.
That's
I think
what
he transferred
everybody
the next year.
I don't know.
Jalen
Milroe, from what I understand, is only ever remembered fondly at Alabama. And again, he was a Campbell Award winner as the nation's college football academic Heisman winner, represented Alabama great. People don't care about that. You know that. I know that. They should, but they don't. What they care about is the grave digger. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
If he had thrown it into the seats, and he didn't, if he had thrown it into the seats,
it's close.
People would be dog cussing him even more than they do right now.
That's true. Yeah. So, you said Ty Simpson, Jalen Milroe never won a national championship, blah, blah, blah. Well, Jake Coker did. Nobody knows who he is. That kid gets less recognition for a guy that took a team to a national championship game. Hey, who was the quarterback that year? Wait a minute. I know Derrick Henry was on that team, but, man, who was the quarterback that year?
Golly. Oh, man. Yeah. That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's a spoiled group.
Well, it is.
Well, I wouldn't consider that. That would be, in my estimation, the weakest national championship team that we had. So, I guess it was a national championship, but it wasn't my favorite national championship that makes every other college football fan in the country throw up in their mouth just a little bit. That was probably our weakest national champion.
Yeah.
Shut up. That's how he is. That's how he is remembered. Well,
Jake
more to
Coker
come in a
not
moment.
getting the love.
Yes. Longshore and McKnight,
Yep.
in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Excuse me, just gonna hop in here. Pardon me. Whoa. Don't even think about it.
I'd like a beer, Bud Light. Bud Light, please.
Bud Light.
Just one.
Bud Light.
Just one Bud Light, please. Excuse me.
Hold my legs.
What's this? You teaming up? That is crazy.
Hello? One Bud Light, please.
Two.
Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
I knew you still had it.
Did you?
No.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
This summer, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is on a Jurassic hunt for the oldest HVAC systems and water heaters in town. If your system is a fossil, now's your chance. Replace it between June 1st and July 31st, and you could win big. We're giving $2,500 back for the oldest HVAC systems and $1,000 back for the oldest water heater. Even if you don't win, you still score major savings on your new HVAC system, water heater, generator, and or garage door. Don't let your systems go extinct. Call Dixie, and it's done.
It's Longshore and McKnight. It is our 18 minutes until the top of the hour break. We're out. I've got a quick segment coming up here, and then we'll get into the Phantoms Daily Dog. Couple of things about, and I hope I don't, jump the gun on the Daily Dog, but we mentioned that the AP Top 25 poll is out. I'm not breaking that news. John and Gurn talked about that yesterday. But the Top 25 poll is, that's my first chance to comment on it. Ohio State is number 1. Oregon, number 2. Georgia, number 3. Stay with me. Notre Dame, 4. Texas, 5. That's what it's going to end up being, no matter what. When it's all over with. That's what it's going to be in some different way. Indiana, 6, the defending national champion. Got 8 first-place votes, by the way. Miami, number 7, got 1 first-place vote. Texas A&M at 8. Ole Miss at 9. And Oklahoma is at number 10. I only say this to point out that in the last 23 seasons, 22 out of the last 23 seasons, at least one AP preseason top 10 team finished the year unranked. Not outside the top 25, but not ranked at all. 3 in the preseason top 25 ended the season unranked. Famously, Penn State opened number 2. I say it's famous because John picked Penn State to play in the national championship game. Clemson started number 4, and John picked Clemson to play Penn State in the national championship game. Neither one of those was in the top 25. Also, number 9, LSU. Which one of these top 10 preseason teams isn't even going to make the top 25? Which one's the biggest flame out? Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas, Indiana, Miami, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma. They're probably the best prospect to have that happen, but I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen this year, and for several different reasons. Number one, even though the fact that nobody really knows anything, I'm not talking about, being ranked outside the top 25 postseason. I'm talking about not even being, outside the top 10. I'm talking about not even the top 25. I think all these are going to be top 25 teams. I think what you're seeing is a continued difference between the top echelon of the Power Four and the lower echelon of the Power Four in the Group of Five. There is not a Group of Five team in the entire top 25. There's a little bit of an echelon, a little bit of a difference. The teams that are spending the most are having the most success and have the best chances in there. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
It's Longshore and McKnight. It is about 13 minutes before the hour here on the program, hopefully to get John back on the show. As we continue to look around, I don't know that we're spending enough time on Auburn. This is, we're talking a lot of Alabama just because that's what a lot of you guys want to talk about. But I'm telling you, there are signs of upward mobility for Auburn here for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I do think the offensive line is upgraded. I do think the running back room has a chance to be one of the deepest in college football if everybody either A, stays healthy, or B, doesn't, get in the transfer portal earlier, because some of the guys, I think, Davenport and Washington from Baylor, the big transfer running backs, I'm not sure that they are pulling their weight right now. I like Tay Meadows, very solid. He's not going to gain, 100 yards a game in the SEC, but knows what he's doing. Very good kid, very experienced. Omar Mabson has been the talk of camp, and I think Jeremiah Cobb is supremely talented. If you look at it last year when Auburn finished 5-7, again, they were 1-7 in the SEC, so it's not like saying, oh, but they were a competitive 5-7. They were competitive. I mean, they lost so many one-score games, but 1-7 in the SEC is 1-7 in the SEC. But a couple of things, if a game or two had turned the other way, that Auburn had a chance to win, blah, 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 it would have made a difference. But also, if at the end of the year they just had not abandoned the run game, just have forgotten about Ashton Daniels. I'm Ashton Daniels. When Ashton Daniels started getting the job, they got away from Jeremiah Cobb. Cobb was at 940 yards rushing with 3 games left, and they forgot about him. This year, I don't think they're going to forget about the running game. This year, that's my point in that whole thing. They gave up on it, and it hurt him down the stretch. Definitely hurt him with, with the Iron Bowl game and all that. So, if they keep Cobb healthy, if they keep Omar Mabson healthy, and Tay Meadows does what he does, I think he'll be fine. I'm not saying, 10-2 or anything like that, but 7-5, 8-4. I think they'll be fine. Time now for our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. 6 topics, no idea what any of them are. We are taking it as it comes right here. See what we got. All right, let's start it out. Boy, the word cursed is elevated. Disgusting, cursed. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. All right. Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, no doubt the NFL will have a team based outside the U.S. There's an Australia game this year. I do know that because they just named who the national anthem singers are for the United States and Australia. That is week 1, 49ers and the Rams. Rio, Tottenham, that's in London. Wembley's in London. Paris, Madrid, Munich, all of those. There will be an NFL team outside the United States. Maybe so. Where would it be? Where's the most likely? Don't worry too much about geography. Although I do think it may be Canada. It may be Mexico. But my guess would be London, England. We'll see. I'm not sure. I do think it's happening. Do not discount that at all. John Longshore is with us. They had an internet outage at his house, and so he's scrambling around. Let's see if we can hear him. Hey,
honey, did we pay the internet bill this month?
I thought you did.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It was yes. So, all right. Let's get back at it. We're already one into the Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Okay.
Pull it here. Cursed. Sometimes Daily Dog has been, but that's neither here nor there. Ouch.
Ooh, that's not good.
Back hurt. Chase Besantis. Caleb Proctor. Injured reserve. I did not know that. Caleb Proctor. I did know Jeremiah Love was hurt.
Barry, for a team that's not going to be any good anyway, and now they got that many injuries. Ugh.
Yeah. Now, bear in mind, we are talking about Caleb Proctor before anybody gets crazy for the Arizona Cardinals, not Caden Proctor. Caleb Proctor and Caden Proctor are not related. Neither is Michael Proctor.
That's true.
Different people. Sometimes you're just snake bit. Yeah, Gurn's right. It's just you're cursed.
Not going to be good this year. Arizona going to stink. Hate it for you.
Those are 2 in. Jeremiah Love is the player out of that group. I mean, Jeremiah Love is going to be a player, but he'll be fine. He may not even miss any regular season action.
Maybe not. What we got? Spin away.
Got a sneezing fit over here. Let's see. All right, I'm good. Hero Rats.
Hero Rats.
All right, what in the heck is a hero? Sacramento Zoo. Sacramento, well known in Jim Rome lore as being Sacacrapo. African giant pouched rats are a species of rodent. They sniff out tuberculosis, landmines, and trafficked wildlife. What?
Oh,
these rats can sniff out tuberculosis, Explosives? What?
Man, see them at airports.
Oh, do you?
No, I'm just saying you might.
Oh, I'm about to tell you, Jice. Hero rats. I have no idea. They'll demonstrate the hero rats' abilities in the amphitheater around 10:15 if you want to go.
Yeah.
I had no idea these things. I've heard of dogs that could sniff out drugs, of course, but
Sure. I've seen some big rats in the French Quarter, but I've never seen one that could sniff stuff like tuberculosis out.
yeah, they got some rats that you could saddle up and ride like a horse in
Sure.
the French
You
Quarter.
better believe it.
Unbelievable. All right, back at it. Here we go.
Who we got?
What do we got
let's see what we
next?
got. 3 more colors: blue, red, and yellow.
Dashing around.
Dashing around.
This is either. Oh, this guy. Joshua Baez is the next big thing in Major League Baseball. Hot prospect, called up last week. In his debut, he hit 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats.
Yeah.
According to The Athletic, he used to be a delivery driver for DoorDash around Massachusetts, using the extra cash to get around to various baseball events. Number 3 prospect. Again, in the first pitch he sees, he hits it at about 450.
You know,
This
Barry, I
was
think
his third homer of the day. This is
Yeah, I
last
think
week.
we actually played this yesterday on the wheel, and I made the comment. Obviously, the pitcher's not very good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But this is cool. I mean, you've been on Uber. I've never DoorDashed. Troy doesn't have DoorDash.
Yeah.
But, you say, guys, well, yeah, I'm just, I'm always, I'm not Mr. Chatty Cathy, but I'm always, hey, man, you like living in Omaha? Do you like being in Oklahoma City? Well, yeah, it's great. I retired from here. I'm saving up my money because I want hopefully to go to college. Well, where would you go to college? Alabama? Figures. But this guy, hey, I'm going to be a Major League Baseball star someday. They don't know me. Yeah, okay, right. Well, he is the big hot thing here, and actually it's working out for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. They had a guy at Auburn. No, Troy had a guy who was doing Uber or something like that in Troy, and he ended up as a walk-on on the football team. He ran for like 60 yards one game. Tyler Blatt. Okay, here we go. 2 more.
Wait, they've actually got Uber in Troy?
Now, I don't know what the deal was. Maybe they got DoorDash. I know they don't have Uber.
Okay.
I think they do have DoorDash now that I think about it. But you can't get
in a college town, you got to have DoorDash in a college town.
Yeah, but Troy's such a small town. You can say, hey, you need a ride?
Yeah.
My cousin Bubba, he's got a boat. Get his boat,
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Fastest boat on the river. He'll catch his. Okay, not bussing.
Not bussing. This is Auburn.
Yeah, we mentioned this. Jeannie Buss, the governor of the Lakers franchise, her dad, Jerry Buss, owned the Lakers through all the Showtime era, Kareem, Magic, Michael Cooper. They have sold it, as we mentioned, for a record price to Bob Iger, Joshua Kushner. They are now majority owners, but Jeannie Buss has not agreed to sell the team. Any vote that the Buss family is selling is null and void.
Okay.
So are the Lakers sold? Are they not? I just remember Jeannie Buss because she was going out with the head coach, Phil Jackson.
Correct.
For a little while. Her lawyer, Adam Streisand, says that she has not sold the team. They're selling it as null and void. Okay. All right.
No sale.
We'll see. All right. Not bussing. All right.
No
one more.
Sale.
Here we go. One to get.
One more to go. Let's see what we got.
John's got 2 iconic logos behind him there.
Yes.
Like it? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Got to spin it to make it official. It's the blue panel. Normally is. Let's see what we got here.
Over and out.
Over and out.
Yep. The final event in Live history, I think, has been canceled. They were supposed to have their team championships on the Live Tour in Michigan this weekend, but they're playing this week in Indianapolis. That will be the season finale. Is it the end of the Live Tour? Now, pay attention to this, John, because they may rebrand themselves next year. It may still, we are reimagining Live Golf as a fundamentally new league owned by the players
when
with an
they,
evolved fan experience. It may call himself something else, but it's going to be the Live Tour.
Barry, when they revamp a ride at Disney World, they say they've reimagined it.
Yes. That's whenever I was with John at the radio station, they told me that they were reimagining the show. I said, really? What are you thinking about? Not with you. Oh, not a fan. Okay, so there's that.
That was a big problem, Barry. The second was they didn't let me know that.
Well, yeah.
Thinking, geez.
I would have hurt my feelings if you had known before I knew, but
no kidding.
Yeah, reimagining it all. Anyway, on that note, the Victoryland 777 topic wheel is done for this Tuesday, August the 18th. Many thanks to Travis Ryer.
I've got Barry, real quick, I've got a Victoryland topic wheel submission. Hopefully it will make the wheel tomorrow because I got a great story behind the picture that I submitted in, so maybe it'll be on the wheel tomorrow.
That's another reason to watch. Thanks to Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com for getting on a little early. They're practicing right now. Thanks to Travis Ryer from Crimson Cover, from Cover Crimson, and Ryer on YouTube. A special topic wheel entry tomorrow. Plus, CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News. For John Longshore, I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.